So for next page is going to talk about the regional strategy, one of our regional strategy deliverables, which is opportunity attractiveness. And then, so give you a little bit context. So first, why we are starting this project is because we are dropping too much in our applications. So we really want to know what is the reason behind, and also what can actually cause the dropping or growth of applications to opportunities. And then, however, of course, you might say that, yeah, we are having the job, and then that is coming from OGT side or our traffic or what. But then that are some things we can actually not control. So what we can actually control as IGT is to control the qualities of our opportunity and also how we are going to actually present our opportunities. So here we are going to invite our Kate, which is our APGT RSD 1920, and then she is going to debriefing you about what is whole things about this and how you can take it forward for your opportunity. Great. So let's start.
All right. So I shall also share the links into the chat so that June can also check out the links that I have. But yeah, as Connie mentioned, so the context behind that is because there is a drop in terms of the applications that AP is getting. And so for us on IGT, what we can do about it is that we can look into how our opportunities are like, and are they attractive enough, or are they actually being promoted in a way that people are enticed to apply. And so before I proceed, I'm gonna give June like 2 minutes, and I want you to take a look at the two examples, and then want you to also share with us what you've noticed or what you can tell from these kinds of examples. How would you describe these opportunities?
Okay, I finished reading, and I
Yay!
think for example one is doesn't it just only have two main activity and is quite not clear. And for the I don't know what the EP will do with this opportunity. And for the second one is I think it's give too much information and it's mixed up together. And also for the second one, for the some context in the role description might in the what in the visa or logistic, and also for the main activities. I found that there is some main activities not related to this internship, I think.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much for your insights. They're very spot on. Okay. So why I wanted to share that is because it's also a good activity for us to checkpoint, to also do a review. Okay, if I looked at my own opportunities, what kind of feedback would I feel like if I were an EP, would I want to apply for my opportunities as well? And so since we want exchange participants to apply for what we're posting up there, how do we make sure that the opportunities we have are attractive and are more likely to be applied for? And based on like looking through all of the a couple of the opportunities that we have on the platform, I recognize there's like at least three um, key criteria that we should keep in mind in terms of making our opportunities attractive. So one is eye catching, two is clear, and three is verified. So can you move to the next slide so that we can share what they mean? So one, eye-catching. At first glance, when applicants look at your opportunity, that should make them feel like they want to know more about it. So maybe it could mean making your opportunity title catchy but still within the set guidelines. It could also mean that the photos that you're using have to be interesting, or they could be unique to what your opportunity has to offer. Catching the EP's attention really, really matters if you want to entice them to be able to apply. Second is making sure that the opportunity is clear. So you were able to mention how some of the key activities that one of the examples had was just vague, was incomplete. There was also incomplete data on the visa and all that stuff. And so it's super important that the information that we're putting on the platform makes sense. It's also advised to use one language, preferably English. and then also not using complicated words when you're trying to explain the opportunity. Because yeah, if we do use only English, not everybody is very good at the English language, and so it's important that how we communicate the opportunity is very simple and easy for people to understand. And then of course, in relation to that, it's important that the information that we're putting is also verified. We shouldn't be making up information, because what we post is what our applicants will be expecting. And expectation setting is one of the standards that we're trying to complete with our exchange participants. And so it's important that from the as starting from the opportunities being posted, they should already be true information. Otherwise, we could actually be fined, or maybe the EPs will complain to the ICB or something like that. So yeah, so these are three key things to keep in mind when you want to make your opportunities attractive. So next, please. Okay, so yeah, so here's an example of like how the opportunities would look like on the platform. So when you look at these, would you, as a in the perspective of an EP, or if you were an exchange participant, would you look at these and feel like, oh, I think I want to apply for this opportunity. It looks interesting. For me, I would say like the first opportunity looks eye catching, because it's like, wow, the picture there looks super interesting. I think I want to read more information about it and all that. But then like there's others there that I don't really understand, like the one at the very bottom, it's not super clear. And so for me, I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna ignore that because it doesn't look interesting. I don't think I want to apply for it and all. So yeah, that's one way of looking at it. And then clear and verified information, of course, you have to look deeper into the opportunity in order to do that. So next, please. Okay, so given that, since we're trying to really push for making sure opportunities are attractive, it's super important for us to be able to audit or to review whether our opportunities do make sense, if they're eye-catching, if they're clear, if they're verified. So over the past week or so or more, I've been trying to work on some guidelines that I got inspiration for from ISEC International's own opportunity posting guidelines. I was also able to ask for help from ISEC in India, because ISEC in India is a good case practice for auditing their opportunities and all. So I'm just gonna briefly run through hello. Okay, so I'm just gonna briefly run through what some of the content of the guidelines are. So why should we be auditing our opportunities? So there's two reasons for that. One is accountability, which is super important for us as youth leaders. It's really checking if contracts we use are and what we're signing with our partners is very valid. Are the partnerships making sense? Are we showcasing the opportunities in the way that we promise to our partners as well? It also helps us make sure that we're following terms and conditions that are set in the agreement when we create the opportunities. The second reason why we should be auditing them is because we want to make things standardized. So, of course, like how OGX works in building a brand for ISEC, we as IGX, as IGT, we should also be trying to build a brand for incoming global talent. If not of just ISEC globally, but also especially for our own country. So standardizing the way we put our opportunities really ensures that all of our LCs and the postings that they put up are aligned in how we want to showcase and promote them. Because if one LC has opportunities that are bad or don't make sense, that really does affect the entire branding of the country. Because there might be incidences where an applicant might be like, "Oh, I saw this I saw that this LC from entity A had these kinds of opportunities, and so I didn't really understand what it was like. So I don't want to look into opportunities of entity A anymore because they might just end up being the same. So obviously, we don't want those kinds of situations to happen. So it's important that we are reviewing the opportunities that all of our LCs are putting out there to make sure that they're all complying with a certain standard that we should be having. So next, please. Okay, so here's the auditing process that I would recommend as RST. So first is making sure that you finalize all of your legalities. So before opening your opportunities, of course, you should be signing your contracts and getting payment if you receive payment early on from your partner. It's also making sure that you have all of the details and data that you need from the partner in order to open the opportunity, so that you don't keep bugging them back and forth for all of the information, because that gets tiring. The second step, and this is something that I also learned from India actually, is making sure that you've added the organization's information on expa, so that um, when people look into it in the YOP, or when applicants look at it on the YOP, there's actually sufficient information and credible details about the company available on the platform also. Because if you don't put the information, then it's going to be very lacking, and people will wonder, oh, is this company even real? How good are they? What is their what is the company like? What is the work life like, and all that stuff. And then after you add the organization details, then you start trying to draft the opportunity on Expa. So this one is a pretty extensive process, and a lot of it is taken from AI. So you can read more about it in the booklet. I'll share the link later on. And then after that is filling out an auditing form, or that's when you actually start the auditing process. So with this, it depends what works best for your entity. So in the Philippines for IGV, we used to do it through a Google Sheet and email system. But I think in India, how they do it is they use Google Forms. So I would recommend either system as a possible way to do the auditing. It really depends on what works best for your entity. So there's no imposition there. And then of course afterwards is you wait. Well, at least the LCs have to wait if their opportunities are approved or if they're rejected from being open on the platform. And if they're approved, then you update the search tool, and then the MC publishes the opportunities on YOP. But if they're rejected, then yeah, they have to revise what's written in the opportunity so that it's suitable enough and up to standard. Oh, amazing! Great job, Taiwan. I'm so happy to hear that. Hooray! Okay, so next, please, Connie. Okay, so yeah, just to share a good case practice. Kevin from ASEC in India shared with me that they've been doing this process for about 3 to 4 years now, and it's slowly been helping to improve how India is opening the opportunities. They also provide guidelines in order for LCs to better implement how their auditing system works. So here's a link to the booklet. You can check out more information there. We'll also make sure to share it with the rest of the channel for those who aren't in this call. So yeah, yay! That's opportunity attractiveness. Thank you.
Okay.